Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another video and something a little bit different, because today we're going to be driving from here in Paris to the Dutch Grand Prix, or as rather the nearest we can get to in today's game, fernbus, which is Amsterdam. So also going to feature a channel update as well, an update on the channel as well, and there is our ride, a double-decker bus. I think we took this one last year, if I remember rightly. We did the Austrian to German Grand Prix, but I've got to get these people in already. People wearing flowery dresses. Right, we're ready. I think that one's going to happen. We've got to pick up some Belgium Grand Prix, obviously, because 2023, for some idiotic reason, the Dutch Grand Prix is the first weekend after the summer break. This bloke wants to go to the other side of Paris. I mean, we should really decline a ticket. But, you know, I mean, you can probably walk faster than we can get there, but never mind. As you're about to see. Yeah. Well, so, yes. We're going to get underway straight away, no waiting about. As well as there is a lot of waiting about in this game, but, so yes, it's 2023. Of course, F1 23 is going to be the big game to come out of this year. But whether or not it flops like F1 22 did, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, we're expecting big updates. There's obviously rumours that, you know, we've already had rumours about F1 World. There's rumours flying about. David Greco, who's done the handling for many years of the F1 game, is actually leaving. This will be his last one as well. That's, as I say, that's only rumours, yet to be confirmed what's actually going on there. But yes, but obviously that's in the second half of the year. Up to then, oh my goodness grief. So that green van decided that I wasn't there then. But yes, basically, up to then, obviously you can expect driver career mode. Season 4's just started. The second episode yesterday. The third episode, Australia, I didn't have time over the weekend to actually record it, so I have to do it on Friday. Hence why I brought the World Cup mod further. But yes. Interestingly, obviously I've had to change the engines about, so that's the first time I've done anything with the engines to change the performance in any driver career mode. So that's, I think it's going well. It's producing a different career mode than what I would have had previously, and obviously all the engines. So when you hear the engine sound in the background of that video, that is the Porsche. I'm calling it Porsche. It's really the Honda engine. Obviously the Red Bull's got a different one as well, being powered by the new Aston Martin. But you know, that series is starting to come back again. I'm interested to see the challenge from Piastri, and you know, can we go on to dominate and gain a second Drivers' World Championship? We'll have to wait and see about that. The F1 World Cup mod, I winced when I saw when the date it would be finished by now. It's not going to be finished till February. Yeah, it's a bad mistake launching it late, to be honest. But that is the problems. Those problems have been fixed. So it's just about recording these episodes now and getting them out to you guys on the channel. I have considered maybe double episoding them, but that would mean less driver career mode videos, and I don't want to quite do that at the moment because they're not quite getting the views that they want. So I'm quite happy to just let it roll into February, to be honest. And that brings me on to game experiments. Being absent from the channel for a while now, as well, I was along with fancy liveries. That was another mistake that I made in 2022, was fancy liveries. I waited so long for the sports update, and that is something that's going to happen very soon. They are on the way back. It's going to be a sort of Tuesday series, so it's going to be a 25% career mode, as we've got a bit of gridlock. We need to slow down because we're not going to make this corner. Don't these people know what a yellow box junction means? It's the only one that actually exists in... Oh... Okay. That car's been sent to Narnia, and now that van's mounting that Audi, and now what? Oh, he's come back to life. What on earth is going there? I don't know if Paris is it. Oh, we've taken out a lamppost. Okay. Yeah, that's going. Usually, this is going well. Okay, so I've reset myself. So we should be good now. We've got bus lanes, which we desperately need because the Parisian traffic is dreadful. To be honest, there's just nothing. There's all gridlock, especially on this game as well. It's a little bit broken, but I don't know if it's actually realistic because I have heard the Parisian traffic is also bad. So I think also we're coming out. Is this the French Parliament building? I don't know. People of France, let me know. Let me know if your traffic's bad as well in the comments below, as well. But this is fernbus, by the way, so it's made on Unreal Engine 4 as well. I think I've talked about this before, but I'll talk about it again. Obviously, it's Unreal Engine 4 because it's quite an old game, but they bolted all these DLCs on, and you know, considering the fact this game came out in 2016, it doesn't look quite half bad. You know, it's Unreal Engine 4, so since then we've had Unreal Engine 5 come out, which Codemasters are a partner of that, which is linked to rumours that the Ego engine will be sentenced to death as soon as possible, and Codemasters will start using the Unreal Engine 5 for the F1 games. That's the rumours. They're definitely using the Unreal Engine 5 for the upcoming World Rallycross game that they've got coming, because they decided to kill off Project Cars and what's the other one, Dirt as well. She's very sad. Also very sad about Ken Block, rest in peace. I remember him in that Top Gear little episode many years ago, drifting. I mean, the Drift King. As we arrived at the Arc de Triomphe here, which is just a big roundabout with no lanes, and there's about 10 lanes. I mean, it's a free for all around here. Oh yes, and the French have got this weird rule at their roundabouts. We have to give way to traffic coming onto the roundabout. Yes, that's not. You saw a bit of that there. I mean, we're going this way, by the way, because of the terrible traffic. So we're trying to avoid the terrible traffic that this game Paris has as well. You will see some fake brand names. You've already got Mad X. There's a whole load of those. There's a Lesco, Gamebucks Coffee. They're all dotted about to get around sponsorship. Excuse me as well. So yes, so I think the plan of action for leading up to F123 as we try and negotiate the Parisian traffic is obviously, as I said, career mode, driver career mode will be to take the main focus. Still plan to do 2 videos a week. As what is this Audi doing? To say they are maniac drivers. You can go. There's space in front of you. Oh, and then that driver thought he was entitled to come past us. Of course he did. It's a give way. He had to give way to me, not me give way to him. Yeah. But anyway, as I was saying, so obviously we've got game liveries coming back. They'll be the priority. First, actually, on the Tuesday, and then what will happen will be the F1 Classic Showcase, which I've talked about before. Basically, it's driving all classic cars that have been in the Codemasters F1 games over the years, and I haven't quite worked out how to format it yet. because obviously I can't race them because they've all been in different games, sadly. But I can do a time trial, which I think I am. But whether or not I do a time trial with everyone and average the lap time or not, or give a best lap time, I haven't quite worked out what I'm going to do with that series yet. But that will be coming probably February as well, because there's about 4 or 5 game liveries that need to come out, like the Renault, the Lotus. I think there's an Andretti one. There's a route linked with fraud. Oh my goodness, we've arrived at Gridlock Central. Okay, we will have to take drastic action, because otherwise we will be here literally for the rest of the year. Oh, we've crashed into another Audi with 4 people in it as well. Very dodgy. But then there's just gridlock here. You can see this bloke can't go across, so we're just going to come around here. This is just a terrible junction. Whoever designed this is what you have box junctions for. These people should not be entering the junction. This green car and the yellow and the orange van should not be entering the junction, and therefore I'm going to have to force you out the way with my coach, because they shouldn't be moving. You can see the coach station is just there. No, you can see here gridlock. We could try and move forwards. That van could go a bit, could enter the junction, but he's decided no. And also, like you see where the giveaway lines are. I mean, this is just set up to be dreadful. We've banged out the car out of the way, and we're away. Remind me never to come back here again to this particular part of Paris. The other one's fine because it's underground, it's easy to get out for, but this one isn't. This one's hard. Let me know if anyone, also people from Paris, which coach station you prefer, as we're going to need 1,000 point turn. We've managed to reverse in as well, so we're here. It's only cost us we're half an hour late, so we're going to need some some F1 style racing. Where are the people? Come on, yes, just go, just get on. Don't care about your tickets, don't care if you pay, just get on. No, we're not going to Prague. Yes, okay, I think we've got everyone, so we're just going to quickly run around the other side. I shouldn't really reversed in, but there we go. Start ride. Oh, for goodness sake, there's somebody left. Come on, open. No, don't go forwards. Come on, where are they? There she is. Why didn't you walk up to me as I was going back to the bus? I don't know. But there we go. I mean, they just teleport onto the bus anyway. Now we can start ride. But don't worry about the announcement. We'll do that later. And away we go. We've got half an hour to make up, which you should be able to make up once we get onto the French motorways. And you can see the gridlock is still there. So yes, also coming, because obviously in March at some point will be Forza Motorsport. Sorry, I forgot to mention, Game Experiments will be back on the channel. There's some more coming, but unlike what I previously said, when they're going to be in the new year, I'm sort of leaving them until after I've done the stuff with the all the game liveries, because I want to get that done first before all the F1 teams start releasing their liveries, and I start creating my F123 mod, basically. So that's the reason why that the fancy liveries, the ones that are left, are being prioritised. The hope is that next year, I shouldn't have waited, to be honest, if we've got braking traffic in the channel. I shouldn't have waited for the sports update. That was a mistake, because that's what I thought that was coming out in September and it didn't arrive until November. And that was just a huge mistake. So I won't be making that mistake again. And have a bit more, hopefully have a bit more time to spend on these upgrades. It's not upgrades, on these liveries, and making them look, when the update happens, that then they are updated to those who want to download and play them on Discord and Race Department at the same time, because they're still not updated now. You know, and now I'm only getting time now to have a look at that. Obviously, the World Cup mod has had a various. We've scraped the wall there. The World Cup mod has had a big part to play in this. There's people braking, going at 1 mile an hour. In the typical taxi. But anyway, so yeah, that was in hindsight. Maybe the World Cup mod isn't quite going to work out. But I do want to bring it back in 4 years' time, though, because I feel like if it was on when the actual World Cup was on, there would be a little bit more viewership on it, a little bit more awareness, as opposed to now everyone's forgotten about the World Cup and is moving back to club football. So in reality, the delays in hindsight really should become, we're just going to go through here, as well. In hindsight, we should have I should have got that series early, but then of course ran out of time with everything, you know, trying to get season 2 of season 3 of Driver Career Mode ready. Those liveries take time to create because they're all done by myself, and somebody's requested a livery tutorials. We're going through the tolls here. I've never driven through a toll on a motorway in England, because we only have one now. There used to be 2, because there used to be one across the Severn Bridge as you go into Wales, but that they removed the toll on that. Why is this taxi driving at 5 mile an hour? You're not Latifi. Oh, it's Latifi driving that taxi. But anyway, it used to be the other still there on the M6 toll, as well as you just typical taxi driver. Well, we're now lining up an overtake on a fellow fernbus. Can we get this move done? We've got to wait for this people carrier to come past. He's given us a bit of a slipstream. We're going to move out into lane 2. Fortunately, a 3-lane motorway, a rare thing in Europe, more common in the UK, where I'm from. Basically, there is all the motorways pretty much a 3-lane. There are a couple of 2-lane motorways, but they're more either because people protested about the motorway in the first place, or they're just little motorways, you know, like little spur roads. They're not really connecting, and they don't need that extra capacity of the 3-lane motorway. We're going to get the lorry because he's been excuse me, our sister coach, as he's been blocked in by an oil tanker there. So yes, Forza Motorsport 8, that will be coming to streaming along with some other stuff on Project Cars and maybe some older F1 games as we move towards what I call Phase 3. So we're currently in Phase 2. So in my view, there's 3 phases of the F1 game cycle. There's the launch phase, as well. Then there's Phase 2, which is sort of the dark phase, which is where the F1 game really isn't doing much, and you need to work on like mods and other content that's not general career mode, basically. And then Phase 3 is, of course, the run up to. That's the moment when F1 either it's all for 2, as we're going to have to make a forced stop here, as well, which is either. Either when the F1 season starts again, and a crossover, and also when the game gets announced, basically, and that's when the focus switches to the next year's F1 game and rounding out all the series on this year's game. So here we are at a French service station between Paris and Lille, except it's not a service station. It's just basically a bit of cars and a toilet. I've noticed there's quite a lot of these in this game, and I don't know if it's just a generic, they couldn't be bothered to model service stations or as well, but pretty much service stations in the UK do not look like this. As well, they usually got like a petrol station where you can pay. I don't want to get run over there. Petrol where you can pay over the price of the odds. We've got to find all the people. There's always one hiding somewhere in the bus. Yeah, but when you pay over the price, like I think they were like charging like when at the height of the fuel crisis, they were charging like £2.15 a litre for petrol at these petrol stations. As well, and then there's usually like a place you can go and eat. We are of course missing one. There's always one hiding. Oh, there you are. Got them. Let's go to Lille. We're 40 minutes early at our scheduled stop. Whether this is actually the scheduled stop we were supposed to park at, I don't know. But yes, going back to gaming, obviously. So that's obviously coming to Twitch. There's a link to my Twitch in the description below. I would like to do a bit more on Twitch, but obviously it's not always with everyone on Twitch. Sometimes it's a bit laid back playing other games, because obviously there's a new Assassin's Creed game coming out next year. At some point, the Uncharted series are coming to PC, which I've never played that series. I've watched it on YouTube. I've always wanted to play it, so that I will definitely be streaming that at some point as well. And then obviously we've got more of this fernbus if they release another DLC, because this game is very laid back and very easy to things. We're coming into we've got a little chicane here which we're going to master perfectly. As well as I've always said, there's that Hogwarts Legacy one as well coming out, which I might try out as well. But obviously a lot of this is dependent on what happens, because I don't want to buy. Is he stopped here? No. Okay. You just like to close to the curb or something. Yeah, as we're going to move out wide to make the corner. Nice white line. We still clip the curb. Other games that are coming out I might stream is Star Wars Jedi Survivor. It's another one that's coming out. I played the first one, and I played the first one on stream actually, when it first came out ages ago. Might play the second one on stream as well. Break! Don't want to go into the back of that van. So yeah, I actually quite liked the first one. With the story mode, I didn't like the way it transparented between the planets though. As I say, Assassin's Creed Mirage, definitely looking forward to that. Forza Motorsport 8, that's definitely got to be high on, as I said, that's high on the list. There'll be videos coming on that, but I don't quite know what content there's going to be for that as well. Obviously, all my streams get posted to More Phoenix 84, as well as we're here at the Gare of Lille, because we are in Lille. But all my streams get posted to More Phoenix 84. It's the second channel that gets no love. I might do a few experiments, as again we've got an example of why there needs to be a box junction here. As you can see, the blue van in front, and you can see it's our time to go, and nothing happens. Oh, 3 of them are coming. Greedy. Just wait your turn. Your light's gone red. You shouldn't be going past. 4. How many? The light's been on green. We're going. I'm not waiting. It's just gone to yellow. Not waiting there. That was horrific. That's what causes queues on this game, is traffic like that. As well. But anyway, we're here in Lille. As I say, I've not been to this part of France. I've not been to Paris, and I've not been to Lille. So I don't know actually if any of the buildings or anything like that is actually realistic. The original Germany map is 1 to 20, if I remember rightly. But they've added the other DLCs that aren't, as these vans are going very slowly, so we're going to go and overtake him. These are people carry actually. As well, but basically, yes, obviously they've added DLC to this, and they're at lesser scales, like 1 to 50. And obviously, it'd be nice if TML would add F1 tracks to the game. I can sell somebody a ticket, for example, to Hockenheim, but I can't drive there for some reason. That's an anomaly that I've yet to find out why I can't sell a ticket and why I can't actually drive there. Because I've looked on the map, because that would make a nice, a nice video like this, driving to Hockenheim, for example. As well, we'd pick a place like Berlin. As well, the Nürburgring as well would be nice, but that's not really in the middle, not available on the list. As I say, they need to get a. They've already developed a relationship with the German football. They now need to get F1 tracks into these types of game. Imagine, as I say, I don't know the expansion of F1 games, because obviously F1 Manager, haven't talked about that at all as well. That series, I did not enjoy the Williams. I'm going to be honest. Obviously, the problem was, one of the big problems is that as a part-time YouTuber, my time recording stuff is limited, and therefore, doing 100% race is not always available, which means I have to either fast forward through, as we're going to check these people in. We're early in Lille, which is good. So we can have actually bite to lunch. Oh, okay, he's busy teleporting inside. There's all the suitcases just rammed in. I always hated that. There's the toilet as well, and then there's also a coffee machine down there. Apparently, I don't know what's wrong with the toilet though, because it's come up with a yellow warning sign on the dashboard there. But anyway, here we're back on the motorways. The one thing I don't like about these borderless Schengen countries is the fact that they don't have a sign saying "Welcome to Belgium" or "Welcome to France" as well. As we're carrying on, I know it says we're going towards Lille. We're not going towards Lille. We're going towards Ghent in Belgium. So we are heading to the Belgian border. 2-lane motorway now, which is annoying because obviously lots of them in Europe are like this. Whereas obviously Britain has 3-lane motorways, except of course it also has 4-lane death traps where they remove the hard shoulder, so emergency vehicles like police, instead of being able to fly through on the hard shoulder or to get somewhere safe place to cover a breakdown, etc., instead they've taken that out and built an extra lane and put these little they put these like little lay-bys, but they're not frequent. I mean, the original idea was a part-time running of the hard shoulder that was run on a motorway in Birmingham called the M42. Now they've recently done it to my local motorway, the M27, which in Hampshire in the United Kingdom. Basically, it's useless. It doesn't increase the capacity of the traffic. It just basically adds delays when somebody breaks down, which they pretty much always happens. The bay doesn't go past when there's always not a queue, as our fellow friend is trapped. In the UK, by the way, I don't know if this is legal in France, but in the UK, lorries and coaches and whatnot can come out onto a second lane, regardless if it's this 2-lane motorway. They're only barred from the outside third lane if it's the third lane. That's where I think it's Italy that ban its lorries from outside lane if even it's a 2-lane motorway. As well, as we now pass this, going to try and get past this lorry. As well, I can't see if we're going to be coming off into Ghent. I imagine so. Yes, we are coming off here. We're not going to Antwerp, I think that is, on this motorway. So we're going to come off here. So we're definitely in Belgium now, but we've not seen it, as I say, not seen any signs of where the thing, as I've gone down the wrong way. Now what I should do in real life would carry on and reroute it, but obviously there's nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. And we're basically going to move on to reverse down and take the correct one, as we seem to have discovered the Belgian version of Spaghetti Junction. Well, how many junctions are there? Like, you can get that signage was poor. Like, I did not see that at all. Like, you need signage. Right, which way do I need to get in now? There needs to be where's the overhead gantries that says get in lane 1? I need to be in lane 2. My goodness, this is worse than Spaghetti Junction. Anyway, we survived it. We'll have to navigate it sadly on the way out. But welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Ghent. I've never been to Belgium at all. As well, also we're picking up people here. Belgium it should be, we all sadly might be not on the calendar next year. So that's a 60 limit, and then that's going to go down to 50 because we've got the town sign. As well, I mean, it looks like we need to be in the right hand lane here, so we're just going to because we are going right. And this comes to my other annoyance about foreign traffic. Well, when I say foreign, EU traffic lights. In the UK here, so that I can see the traffic signal that I want to see, there'll be a set of traffic lights on the far side where that far pillar is. As well. No, not here. There's not here. So if I want to see the traffic lights, I have to go into this camera version, which obviously is not realistic. I can't see it from my cockpit at all. You can see that. It's just blocking away. I have to rely on the person in front of me to tell me when to go. And if they jump the traffic light, I'll be jumping the traffic light with them. But anyway, that's my little moan about traffic lights. As well as we arrive into Ghent as well. So F123 then, obviously coming later in the year. The big plans are obviously to have game experiments and fancy liveries earlier in the game cycle than they were this year, so that when we get to this time next year, then we can start to focus on obviously there'll be one-off videos as well, but mainly also to focus on to be able to focus on stuff like fancy liveries, game experiments earlier in the year, and then we can focus on getting the F124 mod done at that point in the gaming cycle. Obviously, I've already mentioned where we'll be driving on Driver Career Mode next year, and that we'll be doing a road to Ferrari as well. So I want you to let me know. I think we're going to start at Haas, because Haas are the worst of the two Ferrari power teams. I like this getting to the team that we want to do in the third season, as opposed to what we've done in the past on F1 2020, previously 2020 career modes, getting into it in the second season. I feel that the third season, getting into the third season allows a bit more build up, allows to establish a reputation as opposed to just getting thrown in the deep end. Like we did with AlphaTauri. We actually won races for AlphaTauri. We haven't actually won anything for Williams. Been chucked in the deep end there, as we've got this huge bus station here again. As well, we can hit the curb. Don't want to run anyone over, otherwise we'll be in trouble. As well. Yes, here's Ghent. What's happened to that bag? I do not know. We see this bag here seems to be, I don't know, it's got the glancing tar wallage, and here we are coming off the motorway, or rather changing motorways back to Antwerp as well. So we could have gone to Antwerp first, really, as I don't know where I'm going. I'm just literally following the sat nav to tell me which lane I need to be in, and it's making that at the last minute, making sure we don't read the sat nav incorrectly. as we go around Spaghetti Junction once more as well. So yes, and then sort of to replace the World Cup mod in the sort of maybe late November or December next year, something I've wanted to do for a bit of a while now is a Road to Glory series. Now, the reason why I'm not doing one on F122 is because Tom97 is exactly doing one right now. But the idea will be potentially like what I did with my team, spanning across multiple games, because that would be easier to set up because of real season start as well. But that will be sort of at the end of every season. That will sort of come in. That's the plan, at least until the next World Cup mod, basically, to fill that gap. I think we're going to do it with Williams, because we won't be driving with Williams again. We've done career modes with Williams on the past 2 games. We won't be driving for Williams on F123 unless the opportunity arises later in the season. We won't be starting with Williams, basically, because obviously we'll be a Ferrari junior driver, trying to get to Ferrari, and obviously bouncing around the early seasons between Haas and Alfa Romeo. Obviously it'll be the final season of Alfa Romeo, so that's the other reason we want to sort of drive for them to give them a send off, really, as well, before the Sauber name gets a lap of honour, which I think will probably include Sauber in a career mode at some point, but I haven't decided further on from that, because that's a little bit too far in the future to be thinking about F124 driver career mode as well. But that pretty much is it for the channel update. So I think I've covered everything, but obviously leave your comments below and I'll try and answer as many as possible. You can, of course, there is a Q&A section on my Discord should you wish to ask me any question at any time as well. So link to join my Discord in the below, and that sign is horrible, and it looks like we're going the long way around as we've had another crash. Absolutely fantastic there. Of course, this bus is about 78 million gears. So I mean, we're in up to 5th, 7th, 9th gear. Yep, 9th gear with all more gears than F1 car as well. It looks like we're doing loop the loop. I don't understand why we're going that. Why are we going all the way down here? I mean, if this is real Antwerp, you need to sort this out. Like, otherwise you're putting coach travellers off in the, from coming in. They have to put an extra half an hour on their journey every time they want to come into Antwerp. So it looks like we're going to. This is a loop roll to bring us back onto the other motorway. It is. And we got Antwerp Zuid. Is that centre in Dutch? Or so in Belgian? Not Belgium. It'd be Dutch or French. Excuse me. Belgian isn't the language. Excuse me. But yeah. I think that's Dutch, but don't quote me on that. I'm sure people will be screaming. I know that I have a Dutch subscriber who will be screaming at me in the comments, and I apologise about that. But yes, we come over this bridge, which I presume is a motorway bridge as well, and now into Antwerp. Then, not been here either, as I said. We've had a light accident. We don't apply into the French red. Oh, we've got a lamppost on our roof, so we've taken out a lamppost. That is absolutely fun. It's just it's swinging around on the top. I don't know how we managed to get a lamppost on the top of our coach, but anyway, we'll move on. We've missed the chance to go through on the traffic lights as well. but we'll move forwards. Oh, it's gone. So I was there as our double-decker coach in the summer, a lot warmer than it is right now in the UK. So as we're waiting 2,000 years for these set of traffic lights, as well. I didn't really think these traffic lights would be taking so long. Come on. No! Oh, for goodness sake, you could have let us go then. Said they decided to prioritise the other traffic. Okay, so cut into Antwerp then. This is a nice train station here, not a big bus station, but there's a water fountain and everything here. So we've only got two. I think we've only got 2 stops left. We have only got 2 stops left. We have got to make us another service station stop though, which we will do as soon as we leave Antwerp. Hopefully the next one's got a bit more facilities than just a toilet. The side of a road. Yes, I'm basically going to play you now the announcement thing that has to be played before we leave every stop.
Hallo und herzlich willkommen bei Flixbus. Wir freuen uns, dass ihr an Bord seid und wir gemeinsam unser heutiges Reiseziel ansteuern. Bevor wir richtig Service ständig weiter verbessern. Für Feedback zu eurer Fahrt nutzt bitte den Fragebogen, den wir euch per E-Mail zuschicken. Wir danken für eure Aufmerksamkeit und wünschen eine entspannte Fahrt und viel Spaß and can also use it to share your suggestions, ideas and requests. We are always ready to assist. And now we can finally set off. Thank you for listening. We hope you have a relaxing journey and enjoy traveling with Flixbus.
Set, mate, we've already set off. We're already on the motorway. We've got wind turbines there. We don't have Flixbus in. I think there's 2 routes of Flixbus. Obviously, the problem with Flixbus has it doesn't really extend to the UK very well because of National Express, and coach travel isn't that well done in the UK. Here's our second service station, which is also another toilet, but this one's got a bench and some bins, so that's an improvement as well. But basically, yes, that's why they're not really present in the UK, is because National Express really thing, and London's only got 1 bus station at Victoria, which obviously is very nice. It's connected to the Victoria train station, the tube station there, so it's actually got good connectivity. But obviously, if you think about the train to London compared to the coach to London, the coach makes several stops as we've been brake checked. As I say, the coach to London, what was he thinking? I don't know. But anyway, the coach to London makes several stops, towns along the way, whereas the trains, although it doesn't take time getting in and out of a town centre, for example, like a coach does. So, a lot of, although saying that, maybe coach travel at the moment will be coming back because of all the strikes that are happening at the moment, which they've been striking for years, though. So it's not the first time they strike, and it won't be the last time the trains are got out on strike. So we're now approaching a roundabout. I don't know what lane I'm supposed to be in because it's just a general roundabout. You're supposed to be in the right-hand lane in the UK and then move across to the left-hand lane. Obviously, that's the other way around because we're left-hand drive in the UK. As we've got a nice bridge. By the way, I've got there's no I feel fine driving this, so they've got no nauseous or anything by no feeling weird by driving a left-hand drive vehicle in a right-hand, whereas in real life I drive a right-hand drive vehicle on the left-hand side of the road, the correct side of the road, obviously. But it says we've got a nice bridge here in Rotterdam. I've not been to the Netherlands either. Maybe I need to go and experience Zandvoort one year. as well, especially the fact it's going to be on there. But obviously, God wouldn't rent there. You know, you are a Max fan, but maybe there'll be some Nick fans there, as it's now raining. And rain in this game is a lot better than F122. Like, the rain in F122 is diabolical as well. Obviously, there is biblical spray if we get that, if it gets that wet as well. Just note that the wipers are automatic, so it's up to the wipers to decide the frequency. And I'd like a bit more. I'll probably have a bit more than that because it's coming down pretty heavily now as we get into the evening time rush. Well, it says it's Friday because wouldn't let me set a date in 2023 for some reason. But basically, imagine this is actually Saturday. We're arriving, of course, for the main race on the sun ahead of the Sunday, really, as the rain is now intensified, but it does very well. The rain spraying off and the sprays, although they have overdone it on the amount of spray that comes off. You know, you get that wash effect that you had on the early F1 games if you get too close, and they need to bring that back because that's such a cool and realistic effect of what you're actually viewing. So we've knocked over a bollard or something. Well, we could have gone underneath and got in front of this lorry, but never mind. It's going to give us the left hand. We need to be in the right hand lane, excuse me, to go right here anyway. Although we could have cut across. Well, brake. As well, so yes, and here we are in Rotterdam. Nice big coach station here. Not as big as Ghent, but still big enough. I think that's probably the train station as well. Although, to be fair, Bournemouth's train station isn't actually very near. It's like a good mile up the hill. As we're going to check all these people in for Amsterdam. All these people going to the Dutch Grand Prix. They're all Max Verstappen fans. All Nick de Vries fans. Well, one bloke over here, why are you standing there? Apparently it's going to take 2 hours to get to Amsterdam, but obviously this game doesn't appreciate that, so take less than that. I don't know what speed that is, but obviously we can get there as the rain intensifies. The puddles have really done well as well, I think, on this game. So, you know, this is Unreal Engine 4. If you think about, if Codemasters use Unreal Engine 5 properly, and I say properly, you know, get it well done, then, you know, F123 can be the game that's promised. But yeah, obviously I've got a bit of a shopping list of stuff that I need. A new computer is overdue as well. Probably a new microphone will come with that. Because I've had this same microphone that's commentated every video since 2018. That's a long time ago now. It's 5 years ago. Don't remind me about that. A new Xbox, because it looks like the new Forza isn't going to be on the Xbox One, so that's going to cost me as well. So I haven't quite decided on a new PC yet, but definitely a new Xbox is on the list, especially the fact Uncharted is coming to PC. That's going to be good at some point. So we're here in Amsterdam, our final destination then. Sadly we can't drive to Zandvoort. I mean, hopefully they can just get a train from the host station to Zandvoort. But, you know, obviously in the evening, I don't know if Zandvoort's got that many hotels. It is a seaside resort town, but even then, Bournemouth is a seaside resort town, and that doesn't have very many hotels either. As well as we've got green light here. Yes, go straight through. No waiting for me. As well as it's quite a nice evening here in late August. Break. There we go. I'm just going to go through. Can't brake for that. So I think this is. No, it's not the Dutch Parliament building, because that's in The Hague. So this must be the train station. I don't know if The Hague is even in this game, but yes. that's almost it for this video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you've watched it all the way through, then thank you, because there's two things that I haven't mentioned, of course, about the channel, is the progress that you made in 2022. Obviously, watch time and subscribers were bad. They were not as expected. Watch time's gone down, which is a problem, and then subscribers, we're not doing too badly, but we're still short of what I wanted. I think, as I said, the launch of F122 was really bad. As we've overcooked it. We've got some nice riverboats here. It's a nice evening. I think we're going to go in this one here. Actually, in fact, we're going to go in this one here. I mean, we're only dropping off people. No one's going to reposition. I mean, it's negotiated that we've finished. So, yes, I hope you have enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Please do. Massively helps me out to get to 1,000 subscribers this year. Definitely must be. Until the next video, then, I'll see you next time. Take care. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy your day, and goodbye.